to order at 7:03 p.m. This is a regular meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale, Tuesday, May 17th, 2016. At this time, I'd ask everyone to please rise to salute our nation's flag, and I'd ask our kids who care to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please. Here.
Here.
Del Ripa.
Here.
D'Amato.
Here.
Hudson.
Present.
Yazdi.
He's on his way. Also with us, Jane McCarthy, our municipal clerk, and Fred Semrau, our borough attorney. This is an official meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale on November 28, 2015. The date, time, and place of this official meeting was faxed and mailed to all local news media and posted here at Borough Hall. We have two presentations this evening. The first, before we do Kids Who Care, we have a very special presentation discussion, and you can see it posted on the TVs, the Anti-Bully Squad. Tonight, the plan was, and this was actually planned before Kids Who Care was coming, so it worked out very well. Tonight, after I say a few words and introduce the Anti-Bully Squad founders, we're all going to be sworn in and receive an anti-bully wristband to show the importance, bring awareness to the bullying problem in our country and world, and talk about the importance of ABS and what they're going to bring to Bloomingdale and work with our kids and our programs throughout the schools, throughout the recreation department, et cetera. So very pleased that you're all here for this evening. And what I'd like to start with is the Anti-Bully Squad was founded by Denver Broncos kicker Brandon McManus and retired music manager Mr. Tom Peterson in 2014. And Tom is with us this evening. Tom, if you would just give a high sign there. We thank you for being here tonight. Also, Tom's daughter, Alexis, is here. And Frank Facile is here, who runs the organization. The mission statement is to create a permanent solution to bullying through education, awareness, and prevention. So tonight we're going to take an oath. We're going to get a wristband. And you have a wonderful website that has a lot to offer, discount programs, no cost to do this for anyone. It's just about educating all of us about the importance of stopping bullying. What I'd like to start is with a quick video from ABS's website.
There's Kevin now with his top, Jay. Jay, Broncos kicker Brandon McManus hit 3 field goals in last night's Super Bowl victory. He finished the postseason perfect, becoming the first kicker to go 10 for 10 in the playoffs. Now, he's a Temple grad, and my love for the Owls is transparent, whether it's here or on social media. But this goes beyond football. The 24-year-old McManus helped form a nonprofit called the Anti-Bully Squad with Tom Peterson. The goal, to help kids build confidence and understand that unlike a kicker on most Sundays, they're not on the sidelines standing alone. In a profile on ESPN.com, Ian O'Connor shared stories about how McManus has changed lives, sometimes by just driving to a neighborhood and having a catch with a kid who's being bullied. A 10-year-old boy named Dominic Safino from Hatfield, Pennsylvania, had been bullied for 3 years for being undersized. But what his bullies didn't know was that he was fighting leukemia and dealing with chemo. It stunted his growth. After hearing Brandon address his classmates about standing tall, Dominic went to Instagram and courageously posted a message that included this: "You know I may be short, but that's better than being dead. I had cancer. If you haven't found out, it's deadly. I like who I am, and I'm very lucky to still be living." The post went viral, and soon those bullies, they were apologizing. While some may think that Brandon's life may have changed last night because of his right foot, think again. The undrafted kicker has always had his feet on the ground, doing the right thing for the right reasons. Standing up. Coming up on SportsCenter AM, we'll show you.
All right, and I think that just sums it up. And with that said, I'd like to introduce a big round of applause, Mr. Tom Peterson, the founder.
Hey everybody, thanks for having me tonight. I probably don't need the microphone. Anyway, Brandon's been texting me all day. He's really excited about this. He wish he could be here, but he actually has camp in Denver, so he can't be. But on behalf of him, I thank you guys. The mayor is actually going to make you guys the first bully-free safe zone. You guys are going to be the first town to do this, which is pretty amazing. So I think you should give the mayor. What I'd like to do is to make you guys all squad members. If I could have everybody please raise their right hand and repeat after me. I promise to do my part from this day forward.
I promise to do my part from this day forward
As a member of the anti-bully squad.
as a member of the anti-bully squad.
If I see somebody getting bullied,
If I see someone getting bullied,
I will step in and speak out.
I will step in and speak out.
Bullying needs to stop now,
Bullying needs to stop now,
and I am willing to do my part to make that happen.
and I am willing to do my part to make that happen.
Good, you guys all remember?
Before Tom goes, he does have a wristband that will leave here. After you get here, we'll take a 5-minute recess and everyone can grab the wristband. I'd like to, before I close this portion of the meeting, first thank Mr. Paul Sande. Paul is a resident of Bloomingdale who owns the company DCB Social Media, who brought this to my attention. And he texted me, Mr. Mayor, we should do this from Bloomingdale. And that's exactly why I'm here, and so Paul, we need to round of applause now. So with that said, anti-bully squad, resolution number 2016 5.10. I first need a motion to adopt this resolution. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2016 5.10, the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale, resolution establishing the Borough of Bloomingdale as a bully-free safety zone, whereas the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale finds it determined that bullying is a problem that is pervasive in today's society. And whereas the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale determines that bullying and its effects are a problem and potentially infects all aspects of human interaction. And whereas the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale believes it has an obligation to the extent it is able to identify, educate about, inform, and eradicate bullying to the smallest extent possible. Whereas the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale determines that education, advocacy, awareness, and prevention are the best ways to eliminate bullying and its deleterious effects. Whereas the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale wishes to undertake this obligation with the adoption of this resolution. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale as follows. The Borough of Bloomingdale hereby establishes itself as a bully-free safe zone and prohibits acts of bullying within the borough. The Mayor and Council of the Borough of Bloomingdale have determined that a safe and civil environment is required and appropriate in the borough. The Borough of Bloomingdale adopts the essential purpose and goal of municipal government, the policy to eliminate bullying in the borough to the extent it is able to do so. The borough recognizes that education, advocacy, awareness, and prevention are the primary tools to eliminating this behavior. So, Tom, I present this to you on behalf of the Borough of Bloomingdale. At this time, I'd like to invite the council down off the dais to help me present our Kids Who Care recognitions this year. Okay. Again, thank you all for being here this evening. Thanks to Tom. 2 more moments at your time. Kids Who Care. What a great program. I want to first thank Rachel Odor, our new recreation director. She'll step right in, be running on the ground, and the rec department will miss the staff. So Rachel, we thank you for that amazing job and continued job you're doing for us. Now kids, 8th graders, man, off to high school. First, the best of luck in high school. And more importantly, thank you. That's why you're here tonight. Thank you for joining and being part of Kids Who Care. Great program, and it absolutely shows your interest in the community and the entire governing body. On behalf of the borough, thank you for that. I've seen you at all the events, helping out, and it's so much appreciated. I hope that continues in your own lives, whether it be in Bloomingdale or a community you may settle in as you go on in years. But we are very, very proud of each and every one of you. And from the bottom of my heart as your mayor, I thank you sincerely. Each of you will receive a certificate of appreciation, which states for your completion of 18 hours or more in community service for the Bloomingdale Recreation Kids Who Care program from September 2015 through May 2016, presented the 17th day of May in stamp the borough seal, my signature. Again, I'm very proud. Thank you. I will begin with Councilman Yazdi to do some presentations.
You will get started. Catherine Diller. And Hunter Everett.
No, Hunter, congratulations to the borough history, your locale. Actually, stand over here for a moment, so we're all done, then we'll take a picture. Yep.
Haley Christie. Casey Scott. Kelly Scott.
Kelly?
Emily Simone.
Melissa Brad? Nicole Duca? Such a serious no. Christopher Durant? Abigail Fieldhouse? And Abigail Nabel. Councilman Costa? Aiden Brancor. Freshman, man. Robert D. Martinez. Alexandra Gray. Matthew Hagan. That was going to be an item now. Charles Hopper. Where's the appropriate t-shirt?
Tucker Lynch. James Pellegrino. Joseph Bella. Alyssa Polito. And Jessica Holt.
Oil. Yeah. Did we miss that? We did. What's the name? And now a special presentation. Before we bring him up, I'd like to bring up Rachel. Big round of applause for Rachel. And Rachel's sister, Michelle. They're all your pals too. So, kids, you come over, you take a picture with your directors here. Now, let me help out for a minute. Hold on, guys, real quick. You want to leave Mr. Hopper over here? Yeah. Okay, good. Good. Just go. Just around some parents and take a picture.
Oh, it is. Normally I don't complain either.
Yeah.
Hey, Fred, before you go in.
Okay. Oh, I have to talk to Paul real quick.
All right, before we go, guys, don't go anywhere. I would be very remiss in not thanking you, parents. All parents, thank you for raising such fine young men and women, and kids, have a round of applause. congratulate you. Best of luck on your graduation. How many days left of school?
They knew that answer.
Best of luck. Enjoy this time. Enjoy graduation. Enjoy your summer. Best of luck in high school. Keep up the community work, the community service. Okay, you make us so very proud. And Tom, thank you again to our anti-bullying squad, who's going to bring up his wristband. So we're going to take the motion for a 5-minute recess. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So remember, at recess, please get your anti-bullying wristband, and everyone have a great day. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 7:24. There's no early executive session. There is one non-agenda item, which is to accept the resignation of June Perales from the Environmental Commission. This time I need a motion for early public comment. Who makes that motion? Tomato, seconded.
Second.
Costa, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to an agenda item, please come on up, state your name and address for the record.
Linda Huntley, 86 Van Dam. On the agenda, you have the bond ordinance. I know you can speak to that separately, but I just wanted to address the fact that you had stated at the last meeting that the amount of bonding you were going to be doing was less than the amount that was, well, the amount that was being paid off was more than the amount of bonding being taken out. And you're only paying off $877,000, but you're taking out a bond of $1,024,000. So my math says that $1,024,000 is more than $877,000. So why is there, so you're taking out more than you're paying off?
Well, I don't have the budget in front of me, but I believe
I do.
our debt repayment is $1,033,000.
No, that's with interest.
Our total debt reduction will.
That's
Payment
interest.
towards debt is $1,033,000.
No, actually, payment of bond principal
That's from memory. I don't have it in front of me.
is $700,000. Payment of bond anticipation notes and capital notes is $177,900. Interest is $125,000. That's not part of principals. That's not counted. Interest on notes is $30,000. That's not counted.
Right.
Oh, but when has the town ever taken the grants and used that money to pay off debt?
What? The grants have to go pay down debt.
It never has. You have never done that. You didn't take out any, unless you're taking out, the amount of debt you're taking out is,
The authorized debt is paid down once the grant's received. We have to submit the final vouchers for grant reimbursement, and that pays down that debt. Always does. It's actually on the financial audit. It shows your debt, your grants offset.
well,
Shows it on the financial
the total, I mean, I don't have the bond ordinance in front of me at this point, but the bond ordinance is for the, what,
My
the $1,024,000?
statement was our debt repayment in our budget is the $1,033,000, which it is. Includes interest, obviously includes interest.
But that's not the reduction of debt.
Our debt, if we didn't.
I'm not
if we
going to
didn't
fight
bond-
this one.
Okay, good.
You've got to be kidding me if you're even going to argue that one. That's just, it just shows your ignorance, to be honest with you. But,
Did you just take the bullying pledge?
yes, I did. I'm not bullying. I'm making a statement of fact.
Thank you.
Facts are
Anything-
facts.
Do you have
know?
anything else?
Excuse me? Are you
Have it-
bullying me now?
Do you have anything else, was my question.
Not at this time, I don't.
Thank you very much. Anyone else, agenda item? Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports. Jane, do you have anything for us?
Just to remind you, the Memorial Day Parade, May 30th, line up 9 a.m., Sloan Park by the monument. It's on the website.
No. Sorry.
Everything's on the website if you need the information.
Thank you. Fred, anything for us?
Mayor, just, Councilman Yassi asked me about a tax abatement program. I know it's listed for executive, but in actuality, it's something that, at this point, it's in the preliminary phase. It's more of a policy discussion. And
Sure.
I just, I would offer the opportunity perhaps to just have a brief discussion about that during this part of the meeting.
Absolutely.
If that'd be okay.
Sure.
And I think the question was, is there some way to give an incentive or a tax abatement on construction or improvements to one's home? And I advised Mr. Yassi that there is, if the borough qualifies for a redevelopment designation, either a neighborhood or the entire borough, you have the ability to adopt an ordinance that would provide for an abatement. It's very rare you can at all abate any type of taxes, but it being a temporary exemption. The example is for a certain amount of improvement. So by way of example, if you were to put an addition on your home, say a small addition for $20,000, And the abatement statute said that for a period of 5 years, any improvements up to, say, $15,000, the first $15,000 in value, would be abated for the first 5 years. And you'd only pay on that $5,000 difference. And then after a 5-year period, that full amount would be realized as part of value to your property. But there'd be an incentive to encourage development or improvements to homes, and at the same token, encourage, it wouldn't be a reduction in your ratables. Ultimately, it would be an increase. You're not losing any dollars during that time period. But that's just an overview how it works, and you could tailor it a little bit differently. You could, I did do a preliminary review with the assessor, and Brian Townsend indicates that so long as half of the community, the age of the homes are over 50 years, you could qualify for that designation. And in this case, in the borough, more than half the homes are over 50 years of age. So the entire borough would qualify if you so choose, and then you could limit the number of years or the amount of the abatement. I believe it goes up to $25,000. You could say 5, 10, but that's just the overview, because they're so rare where there's really, can't think of too many other instances where you could abate any type of taxes, but this is one. It's supposed to be an incentive, and Mr. Yasti had asked me to look at it, and I distributed them out.
And that would apply to commercial too, though?
You can, yes. I mean, those are things you could factor in. Yes, it could.
And just to give it some background, in the budgeting process, our construction fees, the permit fees that we were getting, last year was one of the highest years we had. And our treasurer was recommending don't budget the same amount, because chances are you're never going to hit that number again. So doing some sort of a program that encourages people to do home improvements, it's going to keep up the, as far as people taking out permits, and keep up that revenue source up.
And keep appearances up, and ultimately after the abatement period, will be an increase in ratable. Yeah.
So Fred, there is a maximum of 25,000?
You know what? I'll double check on the maximum for the statute. It may be up to 50, but there is a cap at some point.
There is a cap.
Yeah, because otherwise, someone could take and put on twice the size of their home, it'd be $200,000. You want to give them an incentive, but it has a ceiling, even the statute. But you could put your own statute, your own limits under that. If the statute says 50,000 and you make it,
can go less.
10 or 20. And remember, though, it's for 5 years. So even a $20,000 abatement at $100,000 over 5 years could lead to about a $4,000 tax break for that time period.
Good. All right. Again, it's in the early stages, still investigating. And ultimately, there'll be an ordinance brought to the council if we move forward on it. Okay, good. Anyone else have anything on the council? Just one item for me is the cleanup day was this past weekend. We had over 300 registered participants all throughout town. It was just another successful cleanup day. So thank all those who helped out. At this time, I need a motion to approve our consent agenda. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Just the one item you can see supporting the New Jersey Historic Trust. In 2014, New Jersey voters overwhelmingly approved an amendment to the New Jersey Constitution to direct funds from corporate business tax to save open space, farmland, and historic resources. The original $3 million for grants in aid for historic preservation projects was pulled from the state budget. So this resolution, we're joining many other municipalities recommending that the $10 million be allocated to the Historic Trust in the 2017 budget. And we forward this to all Passaic County municipalities and our legislatures as well. So can I have we're doing the consent agenda, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Pending items. This is a second and final reading for Ordinance 12, 2016, amending Chapter 30, Flood Hazard Protection. This is simply listing the new letter of map revision we were successfully obtained from FEMA. It has to be done amending our code. So public notice statement, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this ordinance is posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News, copies available to the public, so the motion may be made that it be read by title.
And who makes that motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And that's an ordinance of Borough of Bloomingdale in the County of Passaic and State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 30, Flood Hazard Protection, Section 30-3, General Provisions, Section 30-3.2, basis for establishing the areas of special flood hazard of the whole Borough of Bloomingdale.
Thank you. And I need a motion to open public hearing.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to 12/2016, please come on up. Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
And who moves to adopt?
So
I'm
moved.
sorry.
Second.
Motion to adopt, moved by Yasny, second.
Second?
Any discussion? Again, other than effective August 23rd, these maps become effective, saving close to 90 people who will no longer have to carry flood insurance, or well over 200 who will have either be taking out when they get their own letter of map amendment, or excuse me, elevation certificate, or 50 to 80% reduction in premium. So, substantial project. Glad to see it's done. We did have in this year's capital money to continue exploring the town, because we feel there's errors in other parts of the town as well. So FEMA has no intention of doing so, so we will. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Item B, ordinance second final for 14/2016, providing various capital improvements. Public notice statement, please.
Mr. Mayor, this ordinance was posted
Bless
in
you.
this building, published in the Herald News, copies available to public, so the motion may be made that it be read by title.
And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's a bond ordinance providing various 2016 capital improvements by and in by the Borough of Bloomingdale in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, appropriating $1,024,850, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $975,000 bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
Thank you. Motion to open public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to 14/2016, please come on up. Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And who moves to adopt?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Item C, second and final for 15/2016, providing various 2016 water and sewer utility improvements. Public notice statement, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this ordinance is posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News. Copies available to the public, so that a motion may be made that it be read by title.
And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone, I'm sorry. You good?
That would be bond ordinance providing for various 2016 water and sewer utility improvements by and in the Borough of Bloomingdale in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, appropriating $96,000. Therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 96,000 bonds or notes to finance the cost thereof.
Thank you. Motion to open public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to 15/2016? Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
And who moves to adopt?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
New business, item A, 12A, adoption of resolution 2016 5.12,
Actually, it'd be 12.
payment of the bills. Who makes that motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Hudson.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Item B, adoption tax resolutions 5.13, just one. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Item C, resolution 2016 5.14. This is a resolution which is a 3-year cooperation agreement to participate in the Passaic County Community Development Block Grant Program. The county goes for federal funding, and they require this resolution that the borough's committing that we will be seeking community development block funds for those 3 years of 17, 18, and 19, which we certainly will. That is the pot of money, the Community Development Block Grant, that has, from years ago, done Henyon Street. This year's doing Ryerson, utility work, curb, sidewalks, paving. We applied for Leary, we're waiting on notice. It paid for lower portion of Reeve, that'll be starting shortly. So we do take advantage of that, and we will continue to do so. Do I have the motions? So who moves that?
So moved.
Second? Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Item D is I need a motion to give me authorization to develop bid specs and bid our DPW and sewer and water vehicles that are in the capital this year. Capital funding will not be available for approximately 20 days, but I can begin the process of bid specs, advertise, and open bids after that time frame. Who makes that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
The next item is Resolution 2016 5.15. This is, I need a motion to award contract to Mike Fitzpatrick and Son for Ryerson Avenue improvements in the amount of $434,790. Who makes that motion?
So moved. Second?
Any discussion? Again, as you recall, Star Lake's beginning after Memorial Day. We are now awarding Ryerson, and Reeve is under co-op paving. So, and Reeve has to be bid for some utility work shortly. So it's all coming along. Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Thank you. There was one non-agenda item. I need a motion to accept the resignation of June Perales from the Bloomingdale Environmental Commission. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. A motion for late public comment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak, please come on up, state your name and address for the record. That was actually in the book. Yeah. Hi.
You knew I was here for a reason.
How are you, Carla?
I'm good, how are you? Carla DeWitt, Canfie Lake. I thought I'd come down tonight to bring something to your attention that you might want to consider, and it has to do with this very controversial issue in town of the quarry expansion. And I've been following it, as I'm sure most residents have, and the pros and the cons. And I know it's not before you tonight. It will be before the planning board on Thursday. I also know that, I've noticed that all the signs have popped up all over town opposing the quarry expansion. And so it occurs to me that this is a pretty emotional issue in this community right now. It's not the first we've ever had, and it won't be the last, but it seems like it's a pretty hot topic. On the one hand, you have the potential for revenue in this town, a revenue stream that we haven't had before. And on the other hand, you have people that are very concerned with quality of life issues as it relates to a quarrying operation. And weighing those two things and making the right decision is pretty important, I think, for this governing body, for the planning board, and for all the residents in this town. So having lived here a very long time and seen more than one controversial issue, I'm going to suggest to you that you might want to consider letting the residents weigh in on this decision. I was going to say that we've put other things on non-binding referendums before. You might want to consider this. I'm sure this decision weighs heavily on a number of you and a number of your neighbors. And maybe you might want to know, even more than who comes down here to the council chamber to hold forth on the subject, you might want to know what they think. It wouldn't be the first time we've used a non-binding referendum. I know it's a zoning issue, but it can be done, and I'm sure your attorney will tell you how that can be done. So I thought it might be a good suggestion. You will know clearly what the residents are thinking. Maybe they're thinking the same way you are. Maybe they're thinking the revenue is the be-all and the end-all. Maybe they're more concerned with quality of life issues. But at least you'll know, and you'll have the guidance of the residents. And if you look at the guidance and you say it's not enough, then that's your decision. But I'd like to suggest to you that you give it some serious consideration. That's a lot to weigh We need the revenue, I know that, but we have quality of life issues in this town too. And I heard the argument that it won't be affecting all of us immediately because a quarrying operation can go on for years and years. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to affect our children and the children of other people that move into this town. And Lord knows we don't want them cursing us 50 years from now. So it's a suggestion. You can take it, you can not take it, but I'd ask you to seriously consider it. Give it some thought, speak to your attorney about it, and it might be something you want to consider for all of the residents. Thanks.
Thank you, Carla, very much.
And I just want to thank her. I thought that was very well stated. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing no one, motion to close late executive.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. There are executive session matter negotiations and 2 matters of attorney-client. Any action after executive will be given, the public will have opportunity to speak. And I'm confident there won't be any, so if that concerns anyone. Governing body schedule, June 14th, work session, regular meeting June 28th. I need a motion to go into executive at 7:44. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
John, before Debbie leaves, she's going to get a picture of the council with their
Oh.
bracelets.
Okay.
So